Yo, what's up, everybody? I hope you're all ready for Sky Battle Saturday number 5. Now, I just want to give you an update on where I've been, what I've been up to. Pretty much for the last week, I traveled to New Hampshire with my girlfriend to spend a week with her grandparents and family. It was a great time, and now I have a couple of stories that I want to share. First things first, we had to fly up there. It was a 7 a.m. flight. We had to wake up at 2:45 in the morning and drive 2 hours to the airport. We got through bag checking and TSA just fine, and we were right on time. We got to our gate at 5:45 in the morning. The boarding was supposed to start at 6:20, and the flight was supposed to leave at 7. Now, here's where the issue started. At 6:30, we're still sitting there. They haven't started boarding the flight. They announced that the flight is being delayed until 10 a.m. because they say there's a mechanical issue and they need to fix a part that I guess was broken on the plane. So we're like, all right, we're here for three hours longer than we want it to be. So we're going to go get some food. My girlfriend wanted to go get Starbucks. So I didn't get a drink, but I did get an egg wrap. It was terrible. Do not recommend. Maybe it was partly because it was in the airport, but I don't know. It was just like microwaved and like the outside was really, really hot and the inside was cold. It was like hard to eat because of that. So not a good experience overall. So we're just hanging out. I was like kind of dozing off here and there, and she was reading a book. We get back to the gate around 9 a.m. and we wait until about 9:20, 9:30. And then, surprise, surprise, they delay the flight again, this time until 12 p.m. Now, this wasn't completely terrible because they did send us a text, the airline, that they would reimburse food purchases up to $15 and pay for our lunch. So we weren't hungry again just yet because we just had our Starbucks. So we hung around for a little bit. This time, we actually played Minecraft on my girlfriend's laptop, and her hand was on the keyboard and mine was on the mouse. It was pretty fun. I do recommend finding a friend and playing like a game where one of you controls half the controls, the other one controls the other half. It's pretty fun. We did unfortunately die to cave spiders. We got jumped in a mine shaft, and it was very sad because we got poisoned. So anyway, after this experience, we go and get lunch at a burger place in the airport. It was like fast food, so it was pretty mid, but you know, it was food and it was paid for. So we get back to the gate around 11 a.m. and what do you know? They delay the flight once more until 2 p.m. And also after they do this, they apologize and are like, if you want to come and get your bag that you've checked that's on the plane, we can send that down to baggage claim for you. Now I'm confused. Everyone else is getting pretty restless at this point. So we go up to the desk and ask the person there what's going on. The representative for the airline at the desk says that they need an entire new part for the plane. It's not getting flown in until 2 p.m. and then after that they still have to do the services to replace it. So she says it's looking like the flight's not going to leave till tonight. We didn't want to wait that long, so we start looking for other flights. And I think we find one on American. So we make a plan where we told the lady we want to go ahead and get our bag, and then me and my girlfriend split up. She went to the other side of the airport because it split into 2 terminals and the American desk was on the other side. And then I go down to baggage claim to retrieve our bag. So we're calling each other, keeping in touch, texting. The line for the American airline desk is super long. And I end up waiting for the bag at baggage claim for like an hour without it coming down. So I go back up through TSA again, back to our gate, and ask the lady where our luggage is. But right before I'm able to ask her, there's a lady in front of me in line asking about the status of the flight. So this is an hour later after we told them to send our bag down. And then they announce, oh, yeah, so the flight's actually going to leave at 3:10. At this point, my girlfriend's still on the other side of the airport, so I call her really quick and let her know, yo, get out of that line over there at American and come back down to our original gate because the flight's now leaving at 3:10, which is in like 40 minutes. So I go and ask the lady at the desk, yo, where's our bag at? She has to like text some people down at the loading zone, and turns out our bag is still on the plane. They never sent it, which is probably the best case scenario because if they had sent it just now or if it was lost somewhere, that would have been terrible. Anyway, I'm texting my girlfriend and I'm like, yo, you gotta hurry over here. They like are boarding. Okay, Boarding group 2's on, 3's on. Okay, now everyone's on the plane. And she finally gets to TSA around like 3 o'clock. So now I'm telling the employees at the gate for the airline, yo, my girlfriend's 2 minutes away. Please don't close the gate. She'll be here in like 2 minutes. And they're like, yo, we gotta like get a move on. Just leaving at 3:10. So then I actually notice on the update board, it says delayed until 3:45. So I point that out to them. And then now they seem genuinely confused. They do not know why it says that. They start trying to figure that out. And now we have some more time to get to the gate. But TSA is so slow. My girlfriend texted me at 3, and then I start spam calling her at like 3:05, and she did not pick up until 3:10, which means her phone was going through the security thing for like 10 whole minutes before it got through. Anyway, she finally picks up. I'm telling her, yo, you got to run. They're trying to close the gate. She finally gets there. She's like distressed and holding her shoes and all of her other things in her hand. But we finally get on the plane. Happy ending. Yippee. But we get to our seats, and then they announce over the whole plane that there was an issue with the rescheduled departure time, and now they have to wait until 3:45 to board the plane anyway. So we sat there for another like 20 minutes before the plane even started moving. So yeah, I think definitely the worst airport experience I've ever had. Same for my girlfriend. She was telling me about that. But you know, we got where we were going, even if it was like 9 hours later than we were supposed to get there. Now, what I think my favorite part of the trip is the fact that her grandparents live on a lake and they have a boat. So they do a couple of water sports like water skiing and tubing. So I was really looking forward to learning how to water ski. We got out on the boat, maybe like second or third day there. And my girlfriend goes first. Now, she's been doing this since she was like 10. And she makes it look really easy. She got it first try, went for a long time, like 3 or 4 minutes, decided when she wanted to fall off, and like gracefully skidded off to the side and then sunk down. It was beautiful. And so now it's my turn to try. And first things first, I'm in the water with a life jacket trying to put these skis on. And this is quite the challenge, you know. Like, I'm trying to slip my feet in. I'm also not used to wearing a life jacket, so I'm also like trying to tread water and like not drown. But then I realized eventually that, oh, I can just like sit here and not do anything and I won't fall into the water because I have this life jacket on. So now I have the skis on and I'm holding onto the rope and I'm leaning back with my feet up like I'm sitting in the water. And the system that they have in place is once we're in this position, I'll say drag. And her dad is the one driving the boat. So he starts moving it slowly and I'm getting acquainted to the way that I'm going to be trying to get up. And when I'm ready to go, I yell, go. And then he kicks it in the gear. So my first try, I accidentally waterboarded myself a little bit because I immediately fell forward and I held onto the rope for too long. So I was like face first, like holding onto this rope, dragging myself in the water, with the boat dragging me in the water. So a little bit tragic there, but I figured out after a second, oh, I should let go of the rope. And then I did. And then they circled back around to pick me up for another go. Now, I attempted this probably like 15 more times, just like dragging, yelling go, and then falling down within the first few seconds. But after every trip, it was really cool because her dad and my girlfriend were all giving me tips on things I could do better, like, oh, you're leaning too far forward, or you're not pushing enough when you're trying to get up with your legs. Eventually, I figured out how to fix my biggest problem, which is not leaning back far enough. I have to lean back a lot more than I think I do for the duration of getting up and starting the run. So when I figure that out, I'm able to get a good run in, and then it's awesome. The sad thing is I'm already like kind of tuckered out from so many trial runs trying to stand up, and it is a bit of a leg and back workout. So I don't last too long, probably just a couple minutes, but I'm having the time of my life, you know. I'm really enjoying myself out here, and I feel accomplished for learning how to do this because it was pretty hard at the beginning. Now, eventually, I try to go out of the wake and back in, and I fall. But it's all good, and it's fun, and I get up again, I do another run, and I fall off. And it's good, because I had a lot of fun, and I learned something new. So, I think that's all I have to say about that. Recommend water skiing. It's fun. Earlier, I also mentioned tubing, which we did on a later day. It's not something that has like a learning curve necessarily in the same way that water skiing does. You kind of just like get on the tube and then get dragged around. But with that being said, there are ways to improve at it. So her dad was driving the boat yet again, my girlfriend's dad. And he was trying to tell me, like, when I turn left, you got to move your hand to the left and shift your weight because you're going to go flying across. And if you lean in too much to the right when I make a left turn, you're going to go flying off. So we're on like a small tube. It's honestly like a children's size tube, but we make it work anyway. It's got 4 handles on it. So I'm holding the front too, but then when he's making a left turn, I can switch my left hand over to a more left handle and be able to shift my weight. So that's the tech for that. And it's honestly really fun. It might be more fun to me than water skiing was, because he was my girlfriend's dad was really whipping it around, and like it felt like I was flying over the wakes the way he was driving. And he knew like all the methods to make it like a crazy ride. Like he would ask what kind of ride you wanted, and like you could give him a level 1 to 10 and he would do it. I told him maximum thrill, which I think he still went easy on me. I think he said he gave me like a 7 out of 10, but I lasted a while. I lasted like 5 minutes during a pretty intense ride, so I'm proud of myself for that. And then later on he did give me a 9, but I only lasted like maybe like 30 seconds on that ride. So all in all, it was a great trip. Yeah, the highlights for me were definitely the water skiing and the tubing. I had a great time getting to know her family and her grandparents really well, and our flight back had no delays whatsoever. We got back perfectly, and it was great. Well, that's all for Sky Battle Saturday, number 5. I hope everyone has an astounding rest of their weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.